my next guest, two-time Super Bowl champ, five-time NFL League MVP, 10 All-Pros is crazy, 14-time Pro Bowler. I could go on. Founder of media juggernaut that is Omaha Productions. Peyton Manning, great to see you.
Hey, Kay, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. It returns Monday night on ESPN2 and ESPN+. We are so excited about having you on our show. Finally, I've asked for you like every week for the past 2 years. But we want to start with Neyland Stadium, the Morgan Wallen thing. You brought back the old number 16. Whose idea? How did this come together?
Okay, you know me, I studied some film of the other people that had walked out. My brother Eli looked very stiff, very awkward. Tom Brady kind of looked awkward. Kelsey and Mahomes looked pretty cool in Kansas City. So I'm like, I can't look cool like them. I don't want to look awkward like Eli. What can I do differently? So I went full uniform. You just got to go for it in that situation, Kay. It was kind of a last-minute call. I did the fitting a couple hours before the actual show.
Wow.
Put the uniform on, put the pads on. Notice the long sleeves on the jersey. You know, those don't exist anymore in college football. You know, they're pretty much sleeveless jerseys. So I had to pre-order the jersey that came down to cover my biceps. Once I saw the biceps were covered, I said, I'm good to go. Morgan approved of it, and the rest is history.
Please tell me that 10 songs into Morgan's set, you're still wearing that full getup.
Actually, not true. I wore it.
Figured.
I did the pregame. As soon as it was over, high five Morgan, went and put my boots and cowboy hat on and watched the rest of the show.
I love that. It was very cool. But I got to say, you really had a chance in a big spot to rock the quarter zip for quarter zip culture. You, me, Eli. Like, I was a little let down. I was rooting for you, man.
Obviously, Kay, you made the quarter zip even cooler last year by wearing it. We appreciate you getting into character, coming on our show. You were one of our best guests. I don't think the quarter zip is the proper fit at a Morgan Wallen concert. I think I would have been better off wearing a Tennessee uniform than wearing a quarter zip.
Please tell me that there's a Manning quarter zip, like fall 2025 fashion something happening. Come on.
Absolutely. Eli's designing it as we speak. You know, he knows all the cool people in New York, so that's Eli's job as part of the broadcast.
I had such a blast on ManningCast last season. It was truly a career highlight. So fun, so well produced. It's amazing, and it's back this week. Saints Chiefs, what a game. ESPN2, ESPN+. 4 seasons into this thing, and you're just now inviting your dad, Archie, to the show. What gives?
Well, obviously having the Saints is a big part of it, and yeah, he's excited about it. It was funny. We were kind of doing the pre-interview with him to kind of what things he wanted to talk about. He was telling all these Chiefs stories, and we're like, no, Dad, you know, we kind of want you to talk about sort of your time playing with the Saints. And he's like, were you watching my career? Like, no, there's nothing really that great to talk about of me playing for the Saints, but I have great Hank Stram and Lynn Dawson stories. So hopefully we'll find the happy medium, but we're glad to have him on. Look, the number one criteria to be a guest on the show is you have to love football, okay? And that's clear with you. That's why you were so great last year. Snoop Dogg loves football. So obviously having my dad on in the fourth quarter of the Saints-Chiefs game this Monday, Eli and I are real excited about it.
I can't wait. I heard as kids, you, Cooper, and Eli once put paper bags over your heads in the stands through a tough stretch for Archie and the Saints. Are the paper bags on standby for this one?
Well, I think those days are over, hopefully, for the Saints. Me and Cooper are supposedly guilty of that. According to my mom, Eli wasn't quite born yet, I don't think. So I think that's pretty much just me and Coop.
You have so many amazing things going on at Omaha. It is almost too much to talk about. Starting 5, receiver, quarterback series on Netflix, full court press on ESPN+, places with Eli. Is there something that's coming up that you're very excited about?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, look, all the different shows that we do, I enjoy the most, Kay, of the ones that I don't necessarily have to be in, right? I've never really been a part of something like that, right? So like you mentioned, you know, the receiver show, the quarterback show, starting 5. I love being sort of the offensive coordinator on the sidelines of those shows, maybe helping recruit the quarterbacks or the receivers to do it, but I don't physically have to be in it. One we're excited about, you know, Chad Powers, Eli did, obviously, the Penn State skit, that's turned in to a scripted series. Glenn Powell is starring
crazy.
in it. Thank goodness Eli's not the star of it. Glenn Powell, a much better choice. I think Eli might have a cameo in it. Look for that. But it's crazy to think that fun little skit idea has turned into a TV show. So it's been fun to be a part of, but it's been more fun to give other people platforms to tell their stories, and I can kind of be a coach on the sidelines.
It's truly incredible. So inspiring. Let's talk. You don't want to talk about yourself. Let's talk about somebody else then. Let's talk about your nephew, Arch, okay? 26 of 31, 325 yards and a touchdown in that Texas win over Mississippi State. But I want to talk about the dance. Listen, I've seen Eli dance. This is incredible dance moves. Have you been holding back on us? Is this in the genes? Because, Peyton, we don't see much of you dancing.
Yeah, no, it's not in my genes. It's nowhere in my system by any means. But Cooper, Arch's dad, was a great athlete, was a good dancer, was a cool brother growing up. So I think Arch got a lot of that from his dad. Real proud of him. Went down and saw him play a couple weeks ago in his first start. I was glad to be there and, pull hard for him every single Saturday. Cooper's done a great job just kind of mentoring him, and it's been fun to watch.
When he had that long touchdown run a few weeks ago, you were sort of a low-hanging fruit joke. Everyone said, where did that come from? That's not in the Manning DNA. And I said, let's find Peyton's longest run. And we did. This 33-yard scamper, my friend, against Buffalo back in 2001. This was a 33-yard run, my friend.
Yeah, Kay, it's called a tendency breaker. I think that was a 3rd and 1. Everybody thinks the ball's going to Edgerrin James, so you fake the run, and you run down the sideline untouched. So I think it's because I was not fast and I was slow. The defense said there's no way he's going to keep the ball. And you do it about once every 5 years, and it catches the defense off guard.
How the hell do you remember details about that 23 years later? How?
I mean, the runs that I made, there's only about 4 of them, so you definitely remember the details of those.
You hit the oxygen tank after that guy?
For sure, absolutely. Yeah. In Buffalo, I was done.
It's very fun to watch Arch and to watch the whole storyline sort of unfold. Who's his favorite uncle?
Oh, I don't know. You have to ask him that. Look, I think people think that, Eli and my nephew and I have weekly Zooms to break down coverages, right? Completely.
I would guess yes.
Yeah, completely untrue. We're his uncles. We've tried to be there as a resource to him. Look, he's getting great coaching from Steve Sarkisian and that staff, and that's why he went there to get coached by them. So I think just like any, college quarterback that has, support, from their family, their uncles, that's what we do. And like I said, we pull hard for him and try to be there when he has a conversation. I think he regrets sometimes reaching out to me. I think this past spring, he texted me with a question about a 2-minute drill, and 3 8-minute voice memos later that I left him with all the details of a 2-minute drill. I think he was like, you know what, I probably could get this information somewhere else. And so I don't bother him by any means. I wish him luck before the game.
Yeah.
I congratulate him after they play, and just try to support him.
The question was, who's his favorite uncle? I think, you don't want to answer that, but he is wearing your number. He's wearing your number 16 with those long horns. So I don't know. I think it might be you.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Eli has gone the voice memo route, so I think I'm probably annoying my nephew, so it's probably Eli right now.
I got to get a voice memo from you. It was just insane. Okay, let's talk about last night a little bit. This Kirk Cousins, to me, I would try not to be hyperbolic or exaggerate, but it was the best Thursday night football game I think I've ever seen. What did you make of Kirk Cousins?
It was awesome. Really happy for Kirk. Look, going to a new team. He's done it several times. New system. He's done that a bunch. So he kind of knows the drill, but everybody was looking to analyze him coming off that injury. Pittsburgh was kind of I think it was kind of just to get the field game. He didn't play at all in the preseason. He wanted to play. That was the Falcons' choice. Look, probably the smart move. You want to keep him healthy. So you knew it wouldn't happen right away. But I saw where he said last night he just feels more comfortable. His decisions are quicker, and that's the key for a quarterback. When you know where you're going, you're not having to hold the ball. You can get it out of your hand. You see that with Kirk, and it was on full display last night. He was awesome, and like you said, what a ball game.
Peyton, it's crazy that he had 500 yards because we were on this show just talking about you. We were comparing you to what Shohei Ohtani is doing, and we literally showed the highlight from Week 17, 2013 against the Raiders. You needed 266 to break Breeze's single-season passing record. You hit that, 4 touchdown passes at halftime, and then they pulled you. You could have had the 500-yard game, broken the single-game touchdown record, and taken a run at, Norm Van Brocklin's 554 yards. How annoyed were you that you left this game?
You know what? I felt like the division was kind of, all set. Our playoff seeding was set. Look, it was an honor to, kind of be a part of that record-breaking season. All the receivers, and felt like they were a part of it. The offensive line. So, the 500-yard game wasn't really on my radar at that point. I feel like all my records are going to get broken, Kay, especially with the 17-game season. I think Mahomes is just kind of picking the year. He wants to break it. He's like, I'm going to break Manning's record this year. I want to get that interception record that I set as a rookie off my resume.
Yes, I heard.
You think with 17 games that would happen. So as long as both of them happen, I'm good with it.
I want to ask you about Aaron Rodgers, and we'll see Mahomes taking on the Saints on ManningCast on Monday night. But there's a little panic, 2-2 start. I thought you could help me remind people. Your first year as a Bronco, you start 2-3. Week 6, you were down 24-zip at the half to the Chargers. You rip off 35 unanswered to win, and then you win 11 straight games after that. You were the perfect person to ask, should there be panic, and how can the Jets turn it around, cadences and all?
No, look, there should not be panic. Obviously, you always want to have a sense of urgency when you're playing, and, last year just – it was kind of a wash, obviously, because Aaron got injured. So this is really the first year. And look, you want to have immediate success. And we felt pretty good about our chemistry and kind of the offense we put in my first year in 2012. We win the first game, and hey, this is going to be great. All of a sudden, like you said, you lose a couple in a row, had a kind of a rough night down in Atlanta. And then, San Diego, we had them right where we wanted them, right down, by 3 touchdowns at halftime. So you just never know. There's an old saying, you just keep sawing wood, you keep grinding. Hopefully you're looking for little things that, kind of show that we are making some improvements in the games, whether they result in a win or a loss. But look, I feel with Aaron there at quarterback, the Jets are going to be just fine. It'd be nice to, kind of play good team, complementary football. But as long as number 8's there, I think they're in good shape.
And the cadences thing, when you heard that?
Yeah, look, Aaron's the master of the cadence, and certainly when you lose, anything that is said, people are going to analyze. Oh, that's the reason that they're not winning. So, look, I can't really relate to playing in New York. Eli can, but I know there's a lot more people at those press conferences than there were all those years I played in Indianapolis. So that's part of playing for the Jets or the Giants, and Aaron's the master of the cadence. I don't think that is an issue for the Jets. And
you were the master of ManningCast. We had Kevin Durant on. He said hello, by the way, and that you visited him in Paris and that you guys are like buddies. I love that.
Who was that? I'm sorry.
Kevin Durant.
Oh, yeah. Kevin and I went to practice. I kind of gave him some tips on his shooting. I didn't think it was smooth enough. And so, he's a great guy. Obviously, he's a Longhorn, so he's a big fan of my nephew. It was fun to see him in Paris.
And it'll be fun to see you and Eli back. Monday Night Football, the ManningCast, airing Monday at 8 p.m. on ESPN2 and ESPN+. It is Saints versus the Chiefs. And kill it at the CMAs, by the way, November 20th. Can't wait to see you with Luke Bryan and Lainey Wilson.
Yeah, I love country music. Honored to have Lainey being a part of it. It's one of my most enjoyable nights of the year. So it should be fun.
You're the best, Peyton Manning. You're a legend. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Kay. Thanks for having me.